This is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping our news today at noon, President Trump sparking outrage over his false claims that past presidents did not make calls to the families of fallen soldiers. ABC's Janae Norman has the latest from former administration officials and families that are speaking out to clear the record.
Fallout over false claims previous presidents didn't call the families of fallen soldiers. In Monday's news conference in the White House Rose Garden, President Trump broke his silence about why he hadn't yet commented on the 4 American Special Forces soldiers killed 2 weeks ago during a siege in Niger.
I've written them personal letters. They've been sent or they're going out tonight, but they were written during the weekend.
The president also promised to call the families of the fallen soldiers, crediting himself with taking extra steps he says his predecessors didn't.
The traditional way, if you look at President Obama and other presidents, most of them didn't make calls. A lot of them didn't make calls. I like to call when it's appropriate, when I think I'm able to do it.
Given a chance to clarify, President Trump seemingly doubled down, accusing past presidents of not making calls to the families of soldiers killed in action.
I was told that he didn't often, and a lot of presidents don't.
The claims were met with a visceral reaction. Aides to the last 3 former presidents speaking out to say that's just simply not true. Former Attorney General under President Obama, Eric Holder, tweeting, "Stop the lying. You're the president. I went to Dover Air Force Base with 44 and saw him comfort the families of fallen military and DEA." Despite previous administration officials saying otherwise, Press Secretary Sarah Sanders says the president wasn't criticizing his predecessors, rather just stating a fact. Janae Norman, ABC News, Washington.
Senator John McCain is the latest recipient of the Liberty Medal awarded to those recognized for their leadership in the pursuit of freedom. During his acceptance speech last night, McCain took the opportunity to caution against the United States turning toward, quote, half-baked, spurious nationalism, adding that abandoning America's role as an international leader is unpatriotic.
With all its suffering and danger, the world still looks to the example and leadership of America to become another better place. What greater cause could anyone ever serve? Thank you again for this honor. I'll treasure it.
McCain is a former U.S. naval aviator who was a prisoner of war during the Vietnam War. He also served in the House of Representatives as well as a senator. Former Vice President Joe Biden was on hand to present the medal to McCain. A Suncoast volunteer is honored for her work. 70-year-old Linda Davis works with ITN Suncoast, a nonprofit that provides transportation to seniors and those with vision impairments. Davis awarded the Golden Beacon Award from Bankers Life, the Sarasota branch donating $2,000 to ITN Suncoast in Davis's honor.
It just kind of fell into it. I needed something to fill my time, and now it's wonderful. I sometimes forego some of the things I might be doing to take some of the riders to where they need to go.
Davis has volunteered with ITN for the past 3 years, giving more than 100 rides a year to those in need, along with recruiting more volunteers to do that same valuable service. So congratulations to her. Let's get a check on our weather now with meteorologist John Scalzi, and gosh, we're so close to the first front of the year just coming through, but it's
almost there, there. Before I get to weather, I'd like to offer my congratulations to her, too.
Yeah.
That was really awesome. I know my mother has at times used that service when she lived alone, and they're nothing but lifesavers for a lot of the elderly and those who need rides here on the Suncoast.
Big problem here, yeah.
It's great, and they're always looking for volunteer drivers, so check it out. Yeah, you know, we were close but no cigar. Isn't that the way they used to say it? Close to no cigar. We had some cloud cover around to start the day, and in fact we had some pretty big storms associated with the stalled frontal boundary this morning over the Skyway Bridge, parts of northern Manatee County, Anna Maria Island, parts of Holmes Beach down through upper Longboat Key. Saw some pretty good rain. That has kind of dissipated. We still have a chance of seeing some showers around this afternoon. Certainly a lot of cloud cover excuse me, as well. And you can see that kind of cluster of clouds out in Gulf waters there. Perhaps a little general area of low pressure developing there over the Florida Loop Current. The warmer waters out there in the Central Gulf may enhance our cloud cover this afternoon as well. And that, of course, drops our temperatures a few degrees compared to where we have been. You can see the showers still out in Gulf waters. Now, there's a lot more out there. It's just the radar beam can't see them that far out. But there's, according to the satellite pictures I just showed you, plenty of rainstorms out there. And it's all gradually going to drift in this direction. A lot of it will dissipate before reaching our shores, but our rain chance today is at about 30% this afternoon into the evening hours. The stalled frontal boundary is just to our north. I mean just to our north. But we will see some benefit from this front in the days ahead. We'll be talking about that in detail in a few minutes. But for today, daytime highs top out in the upper 80s. I think that should just about do it, with about a 30% chance of rainfall later in the afternoon. No severe weather anticipated. Darn it, this front just didn't make it all the way through. Maybe the next one will, though, Scott.
My fingers are crossed. All right, thank you so much, John. The leader of a white nationalist group is scheduled to speak Thursday at the University of Florida, and school, city, county, and state officials are doing whatever they can to prepare for what might happen there. Months of controversy have led up to the UF appearance by Richard Spencer, and now the event is just days away. Governor Rick Scott declaring an emergency for Alachua County for law enforcement coordination following Sheriff Sadie Darnell's request.
It's more than what it sounds like. It's not like an alarming that we expect a lot of violence. We don't know what to expect, but we do need to prepare.
Darnell says the declaration will help law enforcement get the resources they need that are not normally available. City leaders have mapped out roads that will close on Thursday, and several help hotlines have opened to answer questions and offer help. A 325-pound Florida woman is charged with killing a 9-year-old girl by sitting on her as punishment. 64-year-old Veronica Posey is the girl's cousin. She told deputies the girl was out of control. She now faces murder and cruelty toward a child charges. And the child's parents, who were also there at the time, now face neglect charges. Dish Network is asking the U.S. Supreme Court to challenge a Florida law that sets different tax rates for cable and satellite TV services. Dish filing a petition in the U.S. Supreme Court 5 months after the Florida Supreme Court sided with the state and the cable industry in upholding the law. Dish Network claims that different tax rates are a form of protection that violates a clause of the U.S. Constitution, which bars states from discriminating against interstate commerce. The U.S. Supreme Court, though, only agrees to hear a relative handful of the thousands of appeals that are filed each year. Florida's two main political parties could pay some hefty fines. State officials charging the Republican Party of Florida over $100,000 in fines for turning in a finance report 11 days late. The Florida Democratic Party could also get hit with a large fine for failing to turn in a report associated with a Central Florida House race. Republicans are appealing the fine. Democrats say the fines should be waived. And remember, you can stay up to date on the latest news and see alerts on traffic and breaking news from here on the Suncoast instantly. If you're an iPhone or iPad user and currently have our news app, you'll need to go to the App Store now and search for WWSB or My Suncoast and download the new version. If you're an Android user, don't worry, you'll get that new version automatically. Still to come in your Suncoast News this afternoon, one mom is using yoga to try to prevent teen suicide. How she plans to lower those statistics. And 911 recordings are released from the South Florida nursing home where 14 people died after Hurricane Irma, when the workers there pleaded to operators.
It's that time of year again when creepy fish and eerie eels swim out of their holes to invite boys and girls of all ages to dress up in costume for a night of fish, fun, and fright. Join us Friday, October 20th from 6 p.m. to 8:30 p.m. at Moat Aquarium. Sail the spooky seas and discover creatures from the deep in a safe and fun trick-or-treating zone. And don't miss our signature underwater pumpkin carving in our spooktacular shark tank. Visit www.moat.org/Halloween.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
The kitchen is where life happens. Minnesota Flooring now offers a wide variety of beautiful quality craft-made cabinetry to make sure the heart of your home reflects your style. Visit us today at our new kitchen and bath cabinetry locations.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Nobody beats Subaru in service quality, vehicle quality, and overall quality. And ALG named Subaru the 2017 top brand for residual value. Now, lease the most fuel-efficient vehicle in its class, a new Subaru Outback for just $239 a month, or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Enjoy some of the best Suncoast restaurants on me. Just go to mysuncoast.com/dining, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't already, and you can win a $50 gift card to a restaurant in our area. We'll pick a winner each week, so go on our website and sign up now.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
80-degree air temperature. We're on our way to slightly cooler temperatures today, even though we have a lot of sunshine now. There's it's kind of intermittent sunshine, comes, goes, depending on the amount of cloud cover that we have, of course, and that will directly affect the amount of heating that we get. Dew point values are a little lower at 71 degrees now. We have an east wind coming in at about 15. I think that's one of the big stories, is how strong the winds are going to be this week. It's not going to be a particularly great boating week. And I know that's going to be a problem for a lot of folks out there who are itching to get out on the water, and it'll be okay, but there'll probably be a small craft advisory, or at least a small craft exercise caution statement issued for tonight, and then through the next couple of days, at least cautionary, I mean, if not small craft advisory. So keep an eye on it, boaters, and keep updated on that wind forecast, but I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see some 20-knot winds out there a little bit later on today. 80 degrees, Myakka, Wauchula, Arcadia at 81, Parrish 79, so is Bradenton, 82, Venice 81 in Inglewood, and 80 at Longboat Key. The frontal boundary itself kind of stretched across just to our north, really. I mean, if you think of a frontal boundary, and I really don't like the word boundary because it kind of implies like a fence or a line in the sand kind of thing. That's not what a front is. A front is kind of a zone of transition that can spread many miles. And that zone is located just to our north right now. It's kind of parked right there. And I think what we're going to see is the intensity of that kind of diminish a little bit with time. As it basically is stuck, it'll just wash away, and then high pressure builds in and we get a strong easterly wind flow. That easterly wind flow will continue to lower our dew points. Not a lot of action here currently on radar, but you know, it's certainly possible that we'll get a couple of showers building a little bit later in the afternoon. I fully anticipate that. One or two around for sure. 30% chance of that. The front itself was kind of clearly more defined earlier this morning with a very sharp wind shift and dew point change. Right now it's mostly defined as a dew point shift. The wind shift has become somewhat a little bit more nebulous and ill-defined. High pressure back to the west and central part of America, providing pretty much quiet conditions across a large chunk of real estate across the United States today. The frontal boundary itself, as I mentioned, kind of stalling out, and as it does so, it'll eventually just fall apart. And as it falls apart, we'll start to see that lower humidity start to work its way in. So more clouds for several days, a few scattered showers around for several days, mostly in the afternoon and early evenings, and lower humidity on the way as soon as that front washes out. Wind speeds, as I mentioned, are going to be up for several more days, and that's primarily, I suppose, of interest to folks who are interested in boating, but also, you know, outside burning and such like that, you got to be really careful. those barbecue grills and such, because there's going to be some gusty winds around. Humid air over us right now, kind of focusing in on where that stalled frontal boundary is, gets replaced as we go through time and into particularly about Thursday, and that drier air starts to work its way in. That's going to shut down the rain chances, bring us a lot of sunshine and some pretty nice weather for a couple of days. We'll just be watching those winds because they are going to stay elevated probably pretty close into the weekend. Northeast wind at about 15 to 20, increasing to 20, moderate chop on bay and inland waters. Forecast for the week ahead calls for decreasing rain chances as we head into Thursday. Drier air works in. Friday and Saturday look great. And then that east wind brings back the moisture for Sunday and Monday. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. A Colorado mom is doing what she can to fight teen suicide. She's taking a proactive approach, trying to address mental wellness at a young age. For about 1 hour each week before the first bell rings, 4th and 5th graders in Colorado Springs are taking stress and then channeling it through yoga. Kimberly Wilson started the 12-week program, and she's a certified yoga instructor and mom. She decided to do it because of the spike in suicide rates in her school district.
When that happened, of course, as a parent, I'm trying to think of what can I do to help this problem. And I think we're all searching for answers. I don't believe that yoga is the answer to this, but I believe that it is a tool that we can use.
While most of the teens over the past few years who have died were older than these kids, Wilson hopes these classes will act as a proactive approach to mental health. Aside from the typical yoga moves, the kids also write in journals and talk about what's going on in their lives. The 911 calls have been released that captured the chaos at a rehab center in South Florida where 14 people eventually died from heat-induced injuries. The nursing home lost power during Hurricane Irma, leaving patients suffering inside the hot facility. ABC's Amy Viteri has the calls the workers made on the morning of September 13th.
I'm calling from Hollywood Hills Rehab. Patient is in cardiac arrest.
911, what is your emergency?
Hi, I have a patient coding.
The first calls for help to 911 operators from the rehab center at Hollywood Hills came the morning of September 11th after Hurricane Irma. And leading up to early September 13th, the calls increased.
Oh my God, I'm on the phone right
Okay, ma'am, I have fire rescue being dispatched.
The nurse found the patient in respiratory failure.
Staff at the center made the frantic calls as they struggled to care for patients without air conditioning in the wake of the hurricane.
Because we don't have any air conditioning, so I saw her slouch over. I realized that she's not breathing. Her fingers started to change color, slightly blue.
In one call, a staffer is heard urging employees to be vigilant.
And you said the patient's in respiratory distress?
Guys, make sure to check on the patient, please. I don't want no more about this stuff. Hello? I'm sorry.
That's okay. You said the patient's in respiratory distress?
Yes. Yes, sir.
911 operators talking staff through what to do until paramedics arrived.
Okay, so she's not awake and she's breathing?
She's not breathing.
Okay.
She's on the oxygen at this moment.
Okay.
Respiratory distress.
Okay, ma'am, is there a defibrillator or AD available? Send someone to get it now, okay?
140 people were evacuated from the facility on September 13th. 8 died that day. 6 more have died since.
Well, time now to get over to the kitchen and check in with our guest today, Chef Pedro Flores from Table Creekside in Sarasota. Pedro, great to see you again. You're already busy in the kitchen. What are you fixing for us today?
It's chicken from a new menu from the Table Restaurant, sir.
Or to that, we'll be right back with you. Thank you, Chef.
Thank you.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-628-1251. 800-628-1251.
No one fighting breast cancer should have to walk alone. Join us at Nathan Benderson Park on Saturday, October 28th for the American Cancer Society Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Walk. Your donation will help patients, families, and caregivers with critical information and support. Join us October 28th and help save lives. Go to MakingStridesWalk.org to join the walk or make a donation today.
Keep up with the Suncoast. Watch your favorite ABC7 shows on your streaming device.
A carjacking attempt leads to a Good Samaritan act. ABC's Saima Chowdhury talked to the woman who fought back and the stranger who jumped in and helped her fight off the thief.
When a woman was pumping her gas at this gas pump in Allen Park, seconds later, she became a carjacking victim. But she fought back alongside a truck driver who helped her, and now we're talking to both of them exclusively.
It's my car. I've worked hard to get it, and I'm not going to let it, go anywhere.
That's what Haley Lorenzen was thinking when a man jumped into her driver's seat at a gas station Thursday afternoon. In this heart-stopping video, you can see she hops into the passenger side, and they both start to struggle.
I grabbed his face, and I, tried to do anything I could, gouge his eyes out.
While she was fighting the suspect, Quentin Grubb, the driver of an oil tanker, tried to help, yelling to her,
Put it in park, put it in park.
The suspect jumps out of the car and tries to make a run for it.
I'm trying to grab a hold of him, and he's slipping out of his shirts. He took off running from me, and I took off after him again, and then I went like this, when I should have went like this.
Two strangers who have not seen each other since this incident are now sharing their harrowing story, thinking to themselves, what if?
He could have had a knife, could have stabbed her, could have stabbed me, he could have had a gun.
By Friday, Allen Park police arrested Earl Larch, putting Haley at ease.
They were amazing. I feel like they went above and beyond.
So how did this happen? Haley says she left the car running but locked the doors and held on to her keyless fob. She believes the doors unlocked when the suspect pulled the handle because the fob was in close range.
I'm just grateful that you were there that day at that time when I was there.
Quentin is being called a hero, but he humbly disagrees.
She was the hero for fighting for her property. I mean, why let somebody take what you worked so hard for?
Quentin hopes to inspire others to do the right thing.
Don't be scared to help somebody.
And Quentin tells us he wants other people to always be aware of their surroundings, no matter where they are or what neighborhood.
That was Saima Chowdhury reporting. The man was caught just 2 days later after the gas station released that surveillance footage, and police thank people who took to social media to spread the word. Let's get back to the kitchen now. John is there with our friend today and our guest chef Pedro Flores from Table Creekside.
Always a pleasure, Scott, having Chef Pedro in the kitchen. Good to have you here, sir.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here, sir.
And I have to tell you, I don't want to embarrass you or anything, but I have to tell you, I had dinner at the table the other night, and it was one of my top 5 meals.
Oh, thank you very much,
of all times. It was just fantastic. And the way you theatrically present the dishes and lay them out and make them look so palatable and wonderful, just blown away. Just blown away.
You're going to make me cry right now.
Ah, good. And it's a nice spot, too.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, so what you cooking up for us today?
I'm excited. We're going to have a new item in our menu, the table restaurant menu.
is a chicken Marrakesh.
So you have a new menu coming out soon?
Yes.
When's it coming out?
It did already
okay.
a week ago.
Oh, all right. So that's why there were so many
we have
things on there.
a nice chicken. It's different. We're using, instead of the chicken breast, we're using chicken thighs. So we leave a little bit of the chicken skin for the crispiness of the chicken.
Okay.
Okay, so we put a little bit of olive oil.
So Marrakesh, so we're doing sort of a Moroccan kind of dish,
yes.
Okay.
And the chicken is marinated with citrus, coriander, cumin, a little bit sea salt.
How long do you marinate that for?
For like 4 hours.
Okay.
4 hours.
So
you
it's
let
got
it drain
those
off.
Nice citrusy flavors as well as those Moroccan spices. Nice.
Exactly. In the meantime, we have, they call him, the name is farro. Okay. But a lot of people, it's better to call him a barley.
Barley,
so it's cooked barley. Al
Very
dente.
popular in Italian cuisine.
Yes, it is. So we put some little bit, we're going to put some asparagus. So we're doing two things at the same time.
Okay.
Okay, some roasted peppers.
Nice.
Okay. And then we're going to put some of the nice barley.
And that's already pre-cooked, right?
Pre-cooked, yeah. You cook it with a little salt, water, make it al dente, not too much, because you're going to finish cooking it here. And then you're going to have a little bit angel hair roasted.
Oh,
so you cook a little bit in the olive oil, you roast it with flavor, and then you cook it in water, salt water again, and it comes this color.
Angel hair pasta?
Yes.
Huh. Neat. What does that, give it a crispiness?
Yes, it gives it a texture and the nuttiness of the flavor. On
I love that.
And then you see that, there you go, that's the chicken is coming.
You can kind of see how it's getting nice and crispy.
Okay.
Right? And I know you're using cast iron on that. You prefer cast iron for the sear?
I prefer cast iron, but you can use any pan.
Okay.
With the Teflon on it. And then we got chicken stock with a little tomatoes and paprika.
Paprika, another big spice in,
in the Middle East.
Moroccan cooking. Yeah. Oh, the smell is so amazing already.
And then you have your little oven going on for 550 degrees.
500 and what?
550. Yes.
Wow. You're cooking it on the high
over
setting
here. Yes, because you want the chicken to be crispy.
I don't think my oven even goes that high. You got.
And then for the finished product, we put a little bit butter, just a little bit for flavor. And you can see already, you got a chicken.
Oh, look at that! Look how nice that looks.
Yeah, this is delicious.
How long did you leave it in the oven at 550?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay.
10 minutes, no more than that.
All right.
And then you put the little barley.
And what are the sauces that you're using there? So
that's a carrot gastrique, which is made with onions, garlic, carrots, little white wine, and vinegar, and reduce it down a little bit for flavor. Okay. And then we get a chicken. Then you put it the way you definitely like to eat it.
Look at that. And then it looks like you've got some kind of crispy thing, like a taco shell there. What is that?
Those we made out of the rice flour, oil, and they stay really crispy.
Oh, look, one broke there. You don't want that on the dish. No, I'll just remove that if I could.
Okay.
Oh,
and then you got the finished product. So you got the crispiness, you got the chicken, and it's a healthy dish too.
It looks fantastic. Can't wait to dive in. Recipe on our website, mysuncoast.com. Click on the dining link page. It'll take you right there. Chef Pedro, as always, a pleasure having you in the kitchen.
Thank you, sir, for having us.
Fantastic restaurant. If you've never dined at Table Creekside, give it a try. Got to. You got to. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Get the lowest prices of the year during the Ram Power Days event going on now at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Don't just settle for what's available at a smaller lot. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of Ram trucks. Get maximum cargo space and more comfort with a new Ram Quad Cab at rock bottom pricing. Or spread out in your spacious new Ram Crew Cab and save up to $10,000. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Attention blood thinner users. If you or a loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. You may be entitled to financial compensation. The widely prescribed blood thinners Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to a number of dangerous side effects, including internal bleeding, gastrointestinal bleeding, kidney bleeding, stroke, brain hemorrhaging, and even death. If you or a loved one suffered any of these injuries after taking Xarelto or Pradaxa, call right now. You may be owed significant compensation from the manufacturer. Thousands of blood thinner users may have been exposed to serious risk by these dangerous medications. If you or a loved one took Xarelto or Pradaxa and suffered serious internal bleeding, call right now. Call Nightline Legal to speak with an experienced attorney for a free consultation. If we don't win, there is no fee. There are time deadlines to file a claim, so don't wait. Call right now.
Call 1-800-554-3987. Again, that's 1-800-554-3987.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at noon. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. NFL owners have a lot to talk about when they get together today at their annual fall meeting. First on the agenda, the national anthem protest. The NFL wants to hear the concerns of the players while not further alienating fans and potentially sponsors who see the protest as disrespecting the flag and the military. ABC's Elizabeth Herr has the latest now from New York.
In a rare move, the NFL owners inviting players and their union reps to attend the owners' regularly scheduled meeting to try to find a compromise. The goal? Come up with a solution allowing players to continue protesting racial inequality and injustice without dividing and alienating fans. The league says it is looking to move on from the issue, intensified following this comment from President Trump.
Wouldn't you love to see one of these NFL owners, when somebody disrespects our flag, to say, get that son of a off the field right now, out, he's fired.
But not on the owners' guest list today, former 49ers quarterback Colin Kaepernick, now challenging the NFL, accusing the league and all 32 team owners of colluding to keep him off the field. According to court documents obtained by ABC News, the unsigned free agent quarterback is claiming multiple NFL head coaches and general managers stated that they wanted to sign Mr. Kaepernick, only to mysteriously go silent with no explanation and no contract offer made. Kaepernick believes his refusal to stand during the national anthem last season to protest racial injustice as the reason for his unemployment.
You're going to have that backlash for trying to fight for people.
According to the current NFL manual, players must be on the field for the national anthem and should stand. It's a policy now up for debate. Elizabeth Herr, ABC News, New York.
All right, let's get another check on our weather with meteorologist John Scalzi, and I guess some headlines. It looked like it was going to rain this morning, and I guess some parts of the area did.
Yeah, pretty heavy rain in some parts.
But windy, too, out there.
That is, I think, going to be the ultimate takeaway from this this particular front for the next couple of days, because it'll be windy right straight after the rain chances have diminished and gone away. We'll still have some pretty brisk winds out there. And, you know, that'll have an impact, I think, certainly on boating.
Yeah.
So, you know, boaters pay attention to those wind forecasts, because even if there are no storms around, it's still going to be kind of breezy. Anna Maria webcam put into motion shows we had some rainfall out there this morning. In fact, some fairly heavy rainfall over parts of Anna Maria at times this morning, mostly during the pre-dawn hours. And as we head into the morning and now into the mid-morning and into the afternoon period, we're looking at some little bit of clearing from time to time, little blue sky poking through there, but still enough cloud cover around that we'll see a shower or two undoubtedly this afternoon as well. Now, the cloud cover is kind of on the increase and kind of a little bit thicker because of the areas of disturbed weather out in Gulf waters. No chance here of tropical development with that particular system, but we'll keep an eye on it just the same. As it gradually drifts closer to us, our rain chance at about 30% will linger through the next couple of days, off and on, almost any time, almost anywhere, but I think mostly in the afternoon and evening would be the enhanced chance of that. As far as thunderstorm activity goes, no severe weather predicted. It's mostly going to be just your average typical thunderstorms that you might see in Florida. Otherwise, some drier, cooler air, slightly cooler, headed our way. We'll talk about that coming up in a few. Back to you, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. Nearly 2 weeks after President Trump visited Puerto Rico, the official death toll there has tripled now to at least 48 people. Much of the emergency help available to Puerto Ricans is going unused because of disorganization and confusion. A state-of-the-art floating hospital and operating rooms, intensive care units, and empty hospital beds is a perfect example of one of the resources not being used to its full potential. The governor blaming a lack of communication.
I know that we have capacity. I know that we have the capability to help. What the situation on the ground is, that's not in my lane to make a decision.
The disconnect, or the apparent disconnect, was in the communication flow.
Puerto Rico's Department of Health decides which patients can go to that hospital ship, but overflowing hospitals claim they did not know how to send patients to that Navy hospital. President Trump telling reporters in Washington the military has delivered plenty of relief supplies to the island. He says the problem is that Puerto Rican officials are not distributing the aid.
We've delivered tremendous amounts of water. Then what you have to do is you have to have distribution of the water by the people on the island. So we have massive amounts of water. We have massive amounts of food, but they have to distribute the food, and they have to do this. They have to distribute the food to the people of the island.
President Trump pointed out the island had a poor electrical grid before it was hit by back-to-back hurricanes, but many in Puerto Rico say the federal government's response to the disaster is insufficient. There's some confusion in South Florida on how to get aid from Hurricane Irma. FEMA disaster recovery centers are turning away people who show up seeking temporary food stamps through the SNAP program. That aid is administered at different registration centers. State and local officials shut several of them down over the weekend after fighting broke out in long lines, and people suffered from heat stroke while waiting. Thousands of people who lined up for the food benefit went home empty-handed.
So anyone that had damages due to Hurricane Irma to their home, their property, personal property, that includes, furniture, TVs, basically anything that they may have lost or that was damaged, that could potentially be reimbursable.
The Florida Department of Children and Families is working to extend the SNAP program into late October. And if you live in Sarasota, Bradenton, or Charlotte County, this is the last day to register for food assistance if you've been affected by the hurricane. You can visit myflfamilies.com to register. A large Sarasota community that features 3 18-hole golf courses could soon be seeing some very big changes. There are plans to develop at least half of the 54 holes at the Meadows into housing, park space, and walking trails. Last night, the Meadows Community Association held an informational meeting going through the pros and cons of the proposed development and hearing input from a large number of residents who were on hand. The Meadows currently features 3,500 housing units and around 5,000 residents.
It's green, nice, open feeling everywhere. We don't want to lose that as we revitalize. We're calling what we're doing the Renaissance of the Meadows, and we want it to be done gently and in a thoughtful, artistic way.
It's extremely upsetting because I feel that the changes that may come about in the Meadows will directly affect the values of our homes.
Board members say a deal could be struck and the process to get the development started could happen as early as the middle of next year. A Sarasota professional triathlete is seriously injured after he was hit by a van while competing in the Ironman World Championships in Hawaii this past weekend. According to West Hawaii Today and eyewitnesses, Matt Russell was riding his bike full speed when a vehicle pulled out in front of him at an intersection. He suffered a concussion and is expected to recover. Russell's wife started a You Caring fund to help with medical bills and other expenses, which has now raised more than $50,000 so far. A lot of people consider Nokomis just a quiet residential community, but once it was a thriving commercial district. ABC 7's Linda Carson has more in A Place We Call Home.
Local historian Dorothy Corwick will be the conductor on the Venice Heritage Historic Trolley Tour. You'll learn about the first pioneer settlers, Jesse Knight and his family.
Jesse's original double pen log home would have been north and slightly to the west of where we are now.
Jesse was a lay preacher and at first held services in his home.
Then he built an open-sided thatch roof place that he gave services in. Then he built a very small little building that he held services in. Then eventually he built a larger one that actually had a bell tower and stained glass windows.
The church was destroyed in 1926 by a hurricane. A new church was built in 1927, and this church was completed in 1979. This was a thriving area. It was first officially named Venice, and the Venice Post Office and the Venice Depot were here. It had everything.
The first church, the first school, the first cemetery, the first hotel, the first movie theater.
The little city was built around a main street that ran through the heart of town.
It started to change when the original 9-foot road from Sarasota to Venice was widened to form the Tamiami Trail. It was then a 2-lane road with parking on either side and commercial buildings on either side that people frequented, including a grocery store, a hardware store.
But as the Tamiami Trail was widened, it cut the town in half. Then Mrs. Bertha Palmer got the Venice Post Office and Depot moved south, nearer to her, and kept the Venice name.
The residents of the former, or the old Venice, had to select a new name for their post office and their railroad depot, and eventually they decided on Nokomis.
The name comes from the Longfellow poem, Song of Hiawatha. Nokomis was the grandmother. The tour will take you by historic buildings.
You'll see the Trail Inn, which has been modified slightly, but it's still there. You'll see the original Venice Nokomis Bank building that now houses a restaurant.
And the Jesse Knight Memorial Cemetery. And these are the graves of the original settlers, Jesse and his wife Carolyn Knight. Much of our history is lost, but very much remains with us. You can see it for yourself on the Nokomis Trolley Tour on October 28th. Linda Carson, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Linda, thank you so much. Still to come in your Suncoast News, Amazon is hiring for the holiday season. How to get a part-time job with the big company. Coming up next.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
Did you know that Sarasota County was the first in Florida to be recognized as an age-friendly community? Whether you're 22 or 82, we strive to be the best place to live, work, and play. A community rich with opportunities and things to do for people of all ages. On Saturday, October 28th, we're advancing this movement with a free community event featuring live entertainment and hands-on experiences. You won't want to miss our entire community coming together for an age-friendly festival presented by the Patterson Foundation.
This is an important medical announcement. Xarelto and Pradaxa have been linked to uncontrollable bleeding and even death. If you've been prescribed one of these drugs and have experienced these dangerous side effects, you may be entitled to substantial compensation. Studies show that Pradaxa can cause more heart attacks than warfarin, and other countries have already issued safety warnings against this drug. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. The call is confidential, there's no cost, and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to Pradaxa victims, and thousands of Xarelto victims are filing their legal cases. Call the Drug Watch hotline if you or a loved one used Xarelto or Pradaxa and experienced uncontrollable bleeding, brain hemorrhage, or even death. You must call now.
Call 800-793-6055. 800-793-6055.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
80-degree air temperature, dew point 71. A mix of sun and cloud out there, and a good chance at seeing some isolated showers, scattered showers around this afternoon. 81 degrees in Wauchula, 82 in Arcadia, 81 in Mayaca, Parrish at 81, Bradenton 81, Lakewood Ranch at 81 degrees. 82 in Northport, Inglewood at 82, and 81 degrees in Longboat Key. So if you look at how rainfall chances are determined, they're determined by multiplying how much of the area you think you're going to get rainfall in by the confidence that you have in this. Now, I have a pretty high confidence that a very little area of our region will get showers and thunderstorms today. I think a 30% rain chance is pretty valid, actually. Pretty good rainfall out in Gulf waters, but it kind of in the process of decaying away. The drier air is trying to filter in, and our dew point values have lowered a little bit with time. But we still have the daytime heating to get through, and with some strong winds out of the east, I think we'll see showers and thunderstorms begin to develop in a very isolated fashion. Right now, there's not a whole lot going on. But the thing is, with a strong easterly wind like we've got, we're not going to get much of a sea breeze. So that kicker mechanism is eliminated from our chance of rain showers today. It's all about this frontal boundary and about daytime heating. So I think the combination of those two things will add to produce our isolated chances to scattered chances of showers and maybe a thunderstorm. Most of the thunderstorm activity, I think, will be to the south. The front itself sinks southward. High pressure builds in across the region, and we get this strong easterly wind flow for probably 4 days or so. So it's not going to be a quick event in terms of the winds. More clouds around, a few scattered showers for a couple of days anyway, and then lower humidity, that'll be on the way. It'll probably work its way in about Thursday. Now watch, this is the amount of moisture that's available to produce rainfall. It's called precipitable water. The redder the colors, the hotter the colors, the wetter the weather. So over us right now, we have this kind of narrow band of moisture that's associated with our frontal boundary. Back to the north, we have this drier air, which is going to produce these lower dew point values and some chillier weather for the northern parts of the state. But for us, the dry air really starts to work its way into the region by about Thursday. Now, another way to look at this is our future rainfall forecast. I've kind of put a couple of railroad tracks on here to show you that over the next several days, we have rain showers in this entire zone. But then, as we head into Wednesday and Thursday, we get some drier air that kind of works its way in so that our coast gets a little bit drier. North Florida certainly dry. The East Coast still getting that easterly wind flow. We'll get scattered showers all along there. And if you look at the future rainfall forecasts, you'll pretty much see that that's what happens. The East Coast gets some heavier rainfall, whereas our coast get some rainfall over the next several days, but will actually tend to dry out as we get into Thursday. I think Thursday and Friday will be pretty nice days. So beach and boating forecast calls for those windy conditions northeast at about 20, moderate chop, building to 5-foot seas during the overnight. And then over the next several days, rain chances start to diminish and we get some sunnier skies. Back to you.
John, thank you. Google Photos is making sure pets are recognized in your family's pictures. The update, which should already be on your Google phone if you have one, makes it easier for you to organize your pet photos. Pets can be labeled and searched for by name, which means you no longer have to type dog or cat into Google Photos search function. Instead, just search for your pet name and then find the picture quicker. Consumers are changing their shopping habits, and that could mean fewer people heading to the mall on Black Friday. A new survey by consulting firm Accenture found many shoppers will probably be skipping the stores during Black Friday and the rest of the Thanksgiving weekend. The majority saying a big reason is the crowds, and retailers can take advantage of all this. Half of those surveyed said a smoother online shopping experience could boost how much they actually spend. And as people turn more and more to shopping online, Amazon says it will hire more than 100,000 people just for the holiday season. The company already has hundreds of thousands of employees in the U.S. alone, but they expect higher demands during the upcoming holiday season. The temporary positions will be available in 33 states, including Florida, and in cities like Tampa and St. Petersburg. Workers can apply for those jobs online at amazon.com/peak jobs. Still to come in your Suncoast News, one celebrity ending his residency in Las Vegas, but you can still catch the last couple of acts before it ends. I'll tell you who coming up.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
At Humana, we believe great things are ahead of you when you start with healthy. And part of staying healthy means choosing the right Medicare plan. Humana can help. With Original Medicare, you're covered for hospital stays and doctor office visits when you're sick, but keep in mind you'll have to pay a deductible for each. A Medicare supplement plan can cover your deductibles and co-insurance, but you may pay higher premiums than you do with other plans, and prescription drug coverage isn't included. But with an all-in-one Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you could get all that coverage plus Part D prescription drug benefits, all for an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. It's all described in this free book and DVD. Call for yours and discover how an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana could save you money. Call 1-855-395-9803. That's 1-855-395-9803 now.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
You studied hard, went to college, and achieved your dream, but it turned into a financial nightmare. If you have federal student loans and you'd like to reduce your payments, get more time, or have your loans completely eliminated, then we have good news. With one call to Student Loan Relief Services, you can find support and guidance. We've already helped thousands of people, and we can help you too. If you have $10,000 or more in federal student loans, you can qualify for payment extensions, payment reductions, or you may qualify to have your federal student loan completely forgiven. Call Student Loan Relief Services now to find out about your options. Take control of your finances and get out from under this burden. One of our student loan experts has the answers to your questions and great solutions to ease your financial burden. We're here for you. Call Student Loan Relief Services now.
Call 800-759-0203, 800-759-0203.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms, and if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars. Call Tax 10,000 at 800-817-1064.
Download the all-new ABC7 First Alert weather app now.
Elton John is letting the sun go down on his time in Las Vegas. John announcing he's ending his $1 Million Piano show at Caesars Palace. He's been performing the show, another version of it, since 2004, and just shy of 2 million people have seen him perform there. Tickets go on sale Sunday for the final 14 shows, which will take place next April and May. Pop star Rihanna is enjoying some hometown support. People Magazine and Nation News reporting that the Barbados, where Rihanna was born, is renaming the street she grew up on in her honor. The small Caribbean nation's government says Westbury New Road will be changed to Rihanna Drive. According to the Ministry of Tourism, the change will take place on Barbadian Independence Day, which happens next month. Actress Mindy Kaling will soon be the mother to a baby girl. Kaling announced she's having a girl on the Ellen DeGeneres talk show. Kaling's pregnancy was revealed in July by, of all people, Oprah Winfrey, who learned about it while the two were promoting their upcoming film called A Wrinkle in Time. Kaling told DeGeneres that if anyone is going to announce big news about your private life, well, you know, Oprah is the one to do it. The actress recently wrapped up filming for the final season of Hulu's The Mindy Project. Doctors are giving an optimistic assessment of golf great Tiger Woods' recovery after his latest round of back surgery. Agent Mark Steinberg says physicians gave Woods the green light to, quote, do as much as he needs to do. Woods posting this video of himself on Twitter Sunday, hitting a drive with the words, making progress. The 14-time major champion has been out of commission since February when he withdrew from a golf tournament in Dubai. The 41-year-old Woods has had 4 back operations in the past. Get ready to see a lot more original content from Netflix. The company plans to spend as much as $8 billion to keep subscribers happy in 2018. The move comes after Netflix recently gained 5 million new members and announced plans to raise prices on its subscription services. Company officials say they want to stay ahead of the competition in the decades to come. The boost in spending comes as tech giants like Apple, Amazon, and Facebook are all trying to expand their own streaming services. So the viewer wins. Yeah, it is the new world, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. I think reality shows opened up a lot of opportunity for other outlets.
Yeah, definitely. And I guess the viewer is really the benefit because you have so much more to choose from now.
Choice is always good.
Yeah.
Choice is always good.
Yeah.
But it also detracts in other ways. But anyway, we're not going into that now. We're going to talk about weather and just update you on the fact there may be a few scattered showers this afternoon, but some drier weather down the way.
Okay, John, thanks. Have a wonderful day.